or good evening, I should say. Not much of a video today, apart from I've patched up the cable that was snapped. So what I did was I drilled out either side. This part here was hollow, and then I basically drilled this bit out to put a nail in, stuck it together, then welded it together and filed it down until she slid in and out. So that's all working now as it should. So she's all ready to connect. So in here it's all stripped. I've still got that hole there to patch, or this side of that hole there to patch, but sadly I'm not going to get around to doing that at this precise moment, because tomorrow and Friday is meant to be really nice weather. So I'd like to get all this spray painted red, or painted red. I've got to cut those two studs off, so those two right there, because I only need that one that's showing. So the plan is to basically get all this painted. So the plan is to take all these off. I was trying to use a hairdryer, but it didn't really work too good. And paint it all tomorrow. So that means all this off, get all underneath painted, set it down, then get the roller out, and paint the outside, get all this off, paint all around there. So I can paint it all, paint all underneath here in black, get it all painted. At least get one coat on. The inside I'm only probably going to do one coat anyway. The outside I'll see what it looks like. I have also got that there to patch up, so probably do that first thing in the morning as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to grind this down. So I don't know if you can see, grind this down so it's all flat back into this plate. Just leave this plate on and it'll be hollow there. Clean it all up, and then through the holes that I've done on the other one, just spot weld the 4 holes in like so. That's the plan. And then once the paint's all getting hard and all that, if we get that done on Thursday, because we wouldn't be able to fit anything straight away, plan is to start trying to free all this up, because it's been left sitting for so long. As you can see, just doesn't like coming out all that easy. So I'd like to get the pressure washer on this, give it a good drench down, pull them right out, give them a good grease up, knock these pins out here, give them a good grease up so they're easy to come out, maybe make some new handle pieces for them because they're shit. So maybe a bit of rebar with a bolt welded on it. Get that all cleaned up, and the same for all the other pins and accessories. This here, normally you would turn this to lift whichever way it is to lift this up. I need 2 hands to do this, sorry, so bear with me. So yeah, that's what you would normally do. So at the moment you can use them, but normally you would have it so that you can you turn this, there you go, and you could do your legs. I'm disconnecting this because with all the shit that we have on our roads, it's just going to be more of a hindrance than it is anything else. So it does mean that you'd be able to put your legs down while using it, but so be it. I don't think that's going to be too much of a drama problem. It does mean taking this cover off and just taking it off properly, because you see it's quite a big bracket that goes in there, but I'll see how we get on, disconnecting it all, undo these bolts, see if we can get the plate out without doing that, but if not, we'll just unbolt this cover, pop this cover back a bit, hopefully get enough access to it. These should all unthread anyway, so if I was to give them a good twist, they should unthread, but I think they would go through those holes anyway. So, be sorted. The second thing we're going to try and do, once we get it all running, is we've got a spare wheel. Now, they're quite big spare wheels, and it might not work. I'd like to think about fitting it sort of up in here and make a tray for it to sit in. I think it's going to be too big for that. These are the super singles that they call them, that they make. So they're about 600 quid a rim, 37 by 12 50s. We're also going to be taking this towing this drop bar down, because they made it for basically this, but it's only held on by 2 little tiny bolts, and it moves, so I can move it. So we're thinking about taking this off and doing away with this, because this is just something to catch a lot of shite in my books. And I'll probably weld on the back of this maybe just a tow and hitch down here, make a plate so there's a tow and hitch in here, so if we do get it stuck from the back we can pull it out. Plan was to put maybe the spare wheel on that bar there, hanging down, but I think it's going to hang down way too much, so it might just have to bounce around in the back. Now if that is the case, obviously it takes up a lot of room because the spare wheel is quite a size, but we may just have to strap it up the front and be done with it, which if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Once we get this canter running, which will hopefully be next week, we'll start putting it all together. We're going to stretch the boom out, give it a good pressure wash down, make sure everything's all good, maybe get some spray paint all these little ends, don't care what it looks like at the moment, providing it's spray painted. Extend all this out, grease all that, sort all that out, make sure it's all good, and yeah, and then that'll be the last sort of job we do on it, is maintaining the sort of the thing. Like these pins here, they're a bit seized for sitting for too long, and these things here are only threaded in plastic, so I'm thinking about maybe making some sort of metal one, get a nut that threads on there, weld a bar to it, a little bar. I'm going to hammer this down because it's what you use to pull this out with, but this one's not as bad, but it does come. This one's only a single one, while the other one's a double one, and I think that's because of the boom is actually situated on that side, so if you're pulling this way you've actually got a longer length maybe, don't really know. All I know is that's the case. So yeah, that's how it's going really. We will see how it goes and go from there. Rate and subscribe, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be showing you some paint. Probably will only be a short video tomorrow because it's really nice out. I would like to just get stuck into it and get this painted. I've sanded down some of these areas which I'll tidy up a bit more, maybe a bit of a start. I've got to also patch that up, that hole up there, that little one, and the other side of it. I've got the little blanks I drilled out, so I'm hoping I can just spot weld them in, get a bit of JB weld, put around it, that'd be good. And yeah, and then it's just a case of layering it with paint really, take my time. We were going to paint the doors, but sadly I'm not going to. The first thing I'm going to paint is these door frames, probably. That's probably going to get done first thing in the morning with a paintbrush. And then hopefully after a couple of hours they'll go tacky enough for me to be able to shut the door. The doors I'm going to do through the week once I get it running. So I've got to strip all this down to change all the locking mechanisms so it works off the one key. So I thought I'd do that all in one fell swoop. So yeah, if all goes well, that's what's happening. I've still got to put the 2 holes in for the bracket, but I'm doing that afterwards because I think it'd be easier to make sure I get it in the right place. And I can pop all the plastic in, make sure it's in the right place, mark it, then bring it out, drill it, and I've got a spray can of the same coloured paint, so I can just tack it with that. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe like before, and tell me what you think. Do you think I should do it anything different? Obviously underneath all that it's going to be black, which will get painted first thing in the morning, and then we'll go from there.